Okay, let's have example number 2. F of x equals negative 4 sine 8x. Again, our circular function is in the form f of x equals a sine bx. So we'll find first the amplitude, which is the absolute value of a. Okay, so a here is negative 4. We'll have the absolute value of negative 4. Absolute value means we'll take out the negative sign, so we'll take positive only. Amplitude, absolute value of a, absolute value of negative 4 is 4. That is found here. Next, period, 2 pi over the absolute value of b. So based on the form, b is the coefficient of x, the angle x. So we have 2 pi over absolute value of 8. 2 pi over absolute value of 8 is positive 8. Simplify, 2 and 8 are divisible by 2. So we have 2 divided by 2 is 1. No need to write 1. Pi over 8 divided by 2 is 4. Again, 2 pi over 8 in simplest form is pi over 4. So we have the amplitude or the height, which is 4, and then the period is pi over 4. Okay, so to draw the graph, we divide the period pi over 4 into 4 equal parts. So if we will show the solution, pi over 4 divided by 4, or pi over 4 times 1/4, the reciprocal of 4. Pi over 4 divided by 4 is pi over 4 times 1/4. So pi times 1 is pi, 4 times 4 is 16. Meaning, this is pi over 16. Alright, so next, pi over 16 is pi over 8. How did we get that? That is from times 2/4, because it's the second quarter. So pi times 2 is 2, 4 times 4 is 16. 2 and 16 can be divided by 2. So we get the lowest term of 2 pi over 16, that is pi over 8. Next, we'll proceed with the third quarter. So we have here 3. Pi times 3 is 3 pi. 4 times 4 is 16. No need to think of any GCF because it's not reducible, cannot be reduced. Right, so lastly we have the fourth quarter, that is the period as well. So just to show the solution, we have pi over 4 times 4 over 4, that is 4 pi over 16, or pi over 4. Again, this is the period. This is the first quarter, second, third. Okay, so we have the whole period here. Okay, let's proceed with completing the table of values for our graph. So we'll just substitute the values of x, or the domain. We start with pi over 16. Actually, we may start with 0, but we already know that it will pass through the origin. So let's add that point 0, 0. Now, if we have pi over 16 as x, if we substitute, f of x becomes f of pi over 16 equals negative 4 sine 8 times pi over 16. Again, we replace x with pi over 16. So if we simplify the angle, we have 8 pi over 16, or 8 over 16 pi. We can cancel. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. So we have 1/2 pi, or pi over 2. Okay, let's write that. Negative 4 sine pi over 2. Now recall that sine of pi over 2, or sine of 90 degrees, is 1. Again, the y-coordinate of the point of intersection of 90 degrees in a unit circle is 1. So again, sine of pi over 2, sine of 90 degrees is 1, times negative 4. So we have pi over 16 and -4. So since the coefficient here a is negative, we'll have to go down. So the direction goes down. Okay, next we have the value of x pi over 8. So let's solve for y. F of pi over 8 equals -4 sine of 8 times pi over 8. Again, replace x with pi over 8. So we may cancel this. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Therefore, we have here -4 sine, what's left is pi, sine pi. So remember that the value of sine pi or sine 180 degrees is 0. -4 times 0 is 0. So we'll have here pi over 8 and, 0 and, right, pi over 8 and 0. Let me repeat, it's pi over 8 and 0. Again, because sine pi is 0 or sine 180 is 0, 0 times -4 is 0. Next, when x is equal to 3 pi over 16, so we substitute, replace x with 3 pi over 16. F of 3 pi over 16 equals -4 sine 8 times 3 pi over 16. So simplify the angle. 8 and 16, both divisible by 8, so this becomes 2 and this is 1. 8 divided by 8, 1. 16 divided by 8, 2. So we'll have -4 sine, what's left is, this becomes 1. So 1 times 3 pi is 3 pi over 2. In degrees, 3 pi over 2 is 270 degrees. So the sine of 270 degrees is -1. Meaning sine 3 pi over 2 or sine 270 degrees is -1. -4 times -1 is +4. Alright, so as you can see, we already have the graph of the function f of x equals -4 sine 8x. And let's look at the table of values. We have pi over 16, -4, that's this point. We began with 0, 0, it will pass through the origin because it's sine. And then pi over 8 and 0, that's this point. 3 pi over 16 and 4, +4, this point. And lastly, pi over 4 and 0. Alright, so again, remember that the characteristic of the graph of sine function is that it is symmetric along the x-axis. So imagine if you fold this one, it will fit into the other half. So this half, it looks like the other half at the top, both with 4 as the amplitude or height. Okay,